have likely witnessed one of the biggest gambles ever taken in cinema with Aditya Dhar's Dhurandhar. Gamble because a 214 minutes long commercial movie with a budget of 225 crores lacks a festive release date and adequate promotions, and it faced heavily negative public reactions even before its release. No one would have thought that this would lead to the massacre, with the box office numbers growing every single day. And I'm convinced that negative PR can affect the audience still. They are in a guess about the product. I also believed that it can be another movie like Coolie despite having the knowledge about the director himself. A movie is a director's medium, and at the end of the day, people should have the belief in the craft of that particular creator rather than being in a limbo of social media games. Me telling this to myself here. This has sparked an online discourse filled with praise, nuanced interpretations, and analysis of the scenes, as well as the ongoing debate between Sandeep Reddy Vanga's Animal and Aditya Dhar's Dhurandhar. Both the movies are infectious and grow in you as a viewer, but what's the reason behind it? I think it's a good time to discuss it and now in this video. So this is Point of View, and today here in this video I'll be discussing all the aspects of Dhurandhar and the impact of this movie on future projects. This will be a spoiler filled video, so proceed accordingly. First of all, I don't think anyone would disagree with me when I say that the viewing experience of the overall showcasing was absolute great. The main reason will be the raw effect of the past events and how they are shown without any filters. Just take an example of the first scene. When Madhavan's character get into the flight, that complete raw footage of the beheaded execution shook me enough and established that you better take it seriously. Then there's the encounter of Hamza's character with the unnamed goon with an apple from Babu Dakait's gang, a disgusting scene that rotates with his execution at the gas cylinder blast scene with an apple in his mouth. Aditya Dhar created such scenes multiple times. The scene where Dhar softly launched the servant from Rehman's family in the Kehra Hua song, pointing Hamza's hand as a gun towards the servant Akhlaq. And that ends with the pre-interval scene where Hamza got Akhlaq's team up with Arshad Pappu to orchestrate Rehman's encounter. Even the scene with the Easy Easy song, when Hamza was looking at the throne of Rehman and then Uzair tells him that वो महज गद्दी नहीं है, तख्त है, जिसे पाने के लिए रहमान भाई ने न जाने कितनों के जिस्म पे सुराख किए हैं, leads to his deal with Major Iqbal for the 2611 incident, betraying his calm for a greater power position in the society, or stated that the real jism pe surakh karne wale is Major Iqbal, pointing to the blue whale in this shark game. Even at the death scene of Rehman's elder son, when Hamza deliberately put blood on his dress to showcase his desperation to save the kid, it ended with Rehman's saving drama at the climax, which was hilarious. The parallel he drew with his screenplay and editing was literally exceptional. Next has to be the music. Shashwat Sajdev cooked the most perfect album ever for a movie where all the songs are literally at their own peak. The album got released on Spotify on the 5th, and I'm still playing them on loop. Every usage of music was so beautifully crafted. First of all, their collaboration with Saregama will be the most perfect decision to get the access. And next, the use of them. Ramba Ho at the wedding event, Hawa Hawa at SP Chaudhary Aslam's intro, Chupke Chupke Raat Din at the tea shop, Piya Tu Ab To Aja at the chase sequence, or Dum Maro Dum at the team up with Jamil, SP and Arshad Pappu. That extra edge all those have given to the movie was outstanding. And at the few times they integrated the rap in the voice of Rebel, those were the cherry on the top. The first thing I didn't like, which I said in my review, was that they used most of the songs without cutting or syncing them. But guys, I think I need to apologize because of the way they were all used in this movie. There is no room for a complaint, at least in terms of music, especially at the title track. I mean, hell man, the songs they have found and the way they all have been implemented. Even at the glimpse, the song they used was Amen from Doja Cat, These deserve a raise of a toast for both the maker and the music director. I mean, this man has already collaborated with Hans Zimmer this year in a British series named Virdi, so you all know about the quality. I was cheerleading for this man right from the beginning and will be, because he speaks quality. Next has to be the storytelling process. Aditya Dhar always showcased his movies chapter wise. He used a very unique way to tell his story, which might become popular in the future since big production companies tend to copy what works right away. But Aditya's division of the chapters and the perfect title for each one, as well as sticking to the name, all worked out very well for this movie. Cuts the music to fit that and makes the most of it. Everybody's favorite chapter will be the seventh one named The Butterfly Effect. That particular chapter has some massive level of energy. It was probably the first time I'd witnessed the most raw essence of a movie's emotions in the way the director broke the fourth wall and showcased the documented recording between the infiltrators of 2611 and their guardian, which was disturbing, unnerving, blood boiling, and saddening. The mixture of the feelings peaked high with the red screen. And I watched one question multiple times on the Instagram. What was the relevance of the scene where dead Rehman lit up a cigarette himself? I think I have an explanation for that. The last chapter was called Et to Brutus, which is a Latin phrase from Shakespeare's play The Tragedy of Julius Caesar that means even you Brutus. Julius said this when he saw Brutus, his most trusted friend, among the people who were going to kill him. Much like Rehman's character to Hamza, well, Rehman will never know the reason for his death by one of his most trusted men. And also, the background score of that particular scene was the shloka Ashatama Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. That scene actually reflects the amalgamation of the two things. First, the voidness within Hamza. Even though he chose to protect his dharma, he betrayed someone that might haunt him in the future, like the Shakespearean touch. And the second will be the stature like Rehman Dakait had been eliminated by him. The stakes will be even more higher than that, and the immortal character was challenging him to face the upcoming events. Next will be the establishment of the sequel. It was clever to put the teaser completely showcasing Hamza at it and not showing any other big names that might be associated with the project in future. And in that teaser, one shot made me feel worried. Like, how will CBFC pass that one shot where Uzair will be beheading Arshad Pappu and playing football with it, which is a real incident, and I'll be losing my mind if something comes up on 19th March. I literally fall in love with CBFC, but wait till then. And there have also been many theories which I won't be discussing here, but I was thinking of its range. I mean, Ranveer's character's name in this movie was Jaskirat Singh Rangi, who was previously mentioned in the movie Uri as the late husband of Sirat Kaul, Kirti Kulhari's character, but as she said in the movie, who was murdered at the ambush at Naushera sector. So I'm a bit confused about how they can set up a universe in the future without having the main leads in it. Or will they use the unsaid rule of spy movies that till they are not watching a character tear apart, literally, that spy will be alive. Also, in the diet, the mention of Bade Saab sparked the curiosity. Like, who will play the role in future? It possibly can be the Thanos of this universe. Many questions to answer, but the character has to be a batshit crazy one. I mean, his literal competition will be the performances of Akshay Khanna and Arjun Rampal. And now the most controversial topic will be whose movie is better in comparison, Sandeep Reddy Vanga's Animal or Aditya Dhar's Dhurandhar. First of all, the comparison is fundamentally flawed. Just look at the genres of both the movies. One focuses on an extremely obsessed character and is primarily a character study, showcasing a single man show. And then there is an espionage spy gangster drama about revenge. Yes, Dhurandhar was a mix of everything. Some people are upset with Ranveer because he was kind of a second lead after Akshay. However, if you really want to compare, consider his character's role in this film. His character was there in this movie to observe and operate accordingly. This is not the movie where you will see the director celebrating the lead. It was first a narrative dense film where the characters need to act according to the circumstances. There is no room for doubt that Akshay Khanna had the biggest contribution. Yes, he has, but wait till the movie gets over. You can say we are at the interval right now, probably the longest interval. Wait for the second half till March. As I observed the teaser of it, I can say the most extravagant show around the main lead you guys want, you will see in there. There will be complete space for Ranveer to operate. But still, the space he got in this movie was enough to showcase his craft as an actor. Just look at those extreme close-up scenes of him. And if you still think that he didn't perform here, then you might be a blind hater, I think, my friend. And if I come to Animal, in terms of quality, I feel the second half of it veered off track and felt somewhat lethargic. This observation comes from a fan of both Ranveer and Sandeep. You can say it's because of the high octane interval block or not considering the antagonist's track in there and getting into an affair and mole stuff without having any concrete plot in there. Where Dhurandhar stands out in that domain, slowly building the premises in the first half, having a subtle tone at the interval and then pacing up in the second half. And I think people need to appreciate the fact that both the makers are actually uplifting the margin of Indian cinema. What was flawed 2 years back got corrected here, and that's progress. I'm hoping the upcoming Mammoth projects will learn from this and implement it in their projects rather than maintaining the same structure of big budget films. As Karan Johar said in an interview,
what happens when you stop narrative, you peak and stop, because it's important that you get that big blast of an interval point. Otherwise you can't walk out with a discussion. And then you come back and you're going right back. So then you restart your film and you have to peak again. Now that 9 out of 10 people don't get it right.
This situation needs to change in my opinion. Actually, you know what? What Animal did with Ranveer 2 years back is likely to repeat the Dhurandhar sequel for Ranveer. And of course, the finest casting call by the man Mukesh Chhabra. Every single character not only fits in the role but also bears an uncanny resemblance to the real ones. This will be the perfect sentence to appreciate the casting in the end. The movie itself is growing in me and I might go to experience it again. I have to. It was a great decision to bring the sequel within 3 months, where the clash with Toxic is something I'm worrying about because I'm excited for both the movies and can't figure out what to watch first. But let's wait for the day, wait for the promotional material, especially for Toxic, because I'm already sold to Dhurandhar. And that's the video. So what are your thoughts around this movie? And you can share your crazy thoughts about who can play a character like Bade Saab in the future in the comments below. Those will be interesting to discuss. You can follow me on X. The handle is POV8055. Thank you so much for watching. See you at the point of view.